Assalamu alaikum, Shandana. Welcome back.
Thank you.
How about we talk about the a series of unfortunate events? We will talk about the downfall of Pakistan that started last year in April of 2022, a growing economy, a progressing country, and suddenly a series of events, a series of unfortunate events that led to the catastrophe that Pakistan sees itself in right now. Let's talk about what happened, how we reached here.
Thank you, Saman. As you rightly put it, the destruction of the economy of Pakistan, the destruction of democracy, the destruction of human rights, the destruction of civility, morality, decency, it all started with one man's naked ambition to continue in his position for yet another 3 to 5 or X amount of years that he could garner. And that is where this entire story begins, that Pakistan has historically, for the last 75 years, we've seen the destruction of this country through individuals, not through institutions. Every time one man or woman with naked ambition comes forward, they put the entire country out to hang. Now, starting with last year, before the vote of no confidence, if you recall the drama of Cipher, it's got wind again since yesterday, and I'll explain why. But long before the vote of no confidence and long before the Cipher came to Pakistan, people like me and dozens of parliamentarians, I can tell you, we were approached by different agencies, different authorities, both foreign and local, and we were told that Mr. Bajwa no longer likes Imran Khan, and therefore Khan's government has to be packed off, sent away. And people like us were approached to change sides or leave politics, etc. Of course, that still continues to happen with violence now. Before it was without violence. We were offered positions in the new government. And of course, it was all surreal at that time to believe. The economy was doing exceptionally well. We were at 6% growth rate, unseen at the time of COVID in any of the countries around us, including many of the developed ones. We had fared through COVID very well in terms of health as well, lowest deaths anywhere in the world, lowest reported diseases. So we were doing rather well. Our exports were up. Global high, 34 billion, never seen before in Pakistan. Our remittances were at an all-time high. Employment was at an all-time high. Agriculture, industry, every sector was doing very well, despite many external shocks and aggressions that we had to face in 3.5 years, including Indian aggression, etc. So when this cipher made its way to Pakistan, Asad Majid, the ambassador at that time in DC, and this has now been confirmed by Shehbaz Sharif in Parliament. His videos are circulating in Rabbani current TV interviews, that the language in the cipher sent to Pakistan was very strong. And that is unusual. You do not tell a sovereign country that please get rid of your elected prime minister by a third-rate official at some government department in whatever country he chooses to come from. And we know what country it was. It wasn't the President of the United States. It wasn't the Speaker. It wasn't the Senate Chairman. It was a lowly ranking official who decides to threaten Mr. Bajwa. Now, that exercise has taken on such a ridiculous moves and turns in the last few weeks, in particular with the statement yesterday by Azam Khan, then Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister. Azam Khan has been missing for the last more than 35, 40 days, like Imran Rayas. In fact, IG Islamabad went so far as to tell the court that they had no clue as to who had abducted him or where he was being kept. All of a sudden, an approver statement, a statement saying that the cipher either didn't exist, or if it did exist, it didn't have that threatening language, on which 2 national security meetings were held. Imagine a cipher in which there is no threat to Pakistan, yet twice National Security Council meets, in which the highest heads of government, heads of military forces, armed forces, air force, navy, all of them are present, in which, after reading which cipher, after discussion of that cipher, they did a démarche to the American ambassador in Pakistan. They called him, they spoke to him. And in a written statement of the National Security Council, you have a statement saying that this was intolerable and unacceptable external interference in the matters of Pakistan. On that, Azam Khan is giving a statement in which it is, I mean, it is a comedy of errors. I don't know if you've happened to take a look at that statement. There is also a bracket in which there is a cue that Azam Khan will say this, that the statement was taken by Khan and he lost it. And please insert media clips of when Khan said he has lost the cipher. The cipher is a document which was shown to the entire National Security Committee. The cipher is declassified, a copy sent by the speaker then to the Supreme Court. And the Foreign Office is a custodian of that cipher. So they have to get their story straight. Either there was no cipher, and then we had stupid meetings of the National Security Council, and we sent a stupid document to the Supreme Court, which had no meaning or nothing written in it. And then Mariam Nawaz's statement saying that foreign countries no longer send ciphers to Pakistan. Our embassies are no longer sending ciphers to us because they're scared of Imran Khan. I mean, of course, she's the queen of, as they call her, the Calibri queen, the queen of all that is ludicrous and below, the IQ of -10. What about statement Nawaz Sharif in Parliament House talking about the cipher? What about Rana Sana's statement? What about Hina Rabbani's? What about Asad Majid's old statement? What about the statement of the National Security Council? So either there was no cipher or there was a cipher. Now they're saying, well, the cipher didn't have that language that Imran Khan says. Well, if that be the case, you still have a chance. The declassified versions of this particular document still exist. Please show them to the public. Please print them in the newspapers. Make fun of Imran Khan. Make mockery of PTI. Prove us liars. Why are you hiding that cipher? What do you stand to gain? Why will the Supreme Court not open up the declassified version of that cipher? Because it is no longer coming under the Classified Secrets Act, the Official Secrets Act. That cipher has been seen by the Prime Minister. It is no longer a secret. It has been seen by the entire cabinet in Khan's time. It has been seen by the National Security Council, both in Khan's government and this Shahbaz's ridiculous government. It has been sent to the Supreme Court. If a document is no longer secret, if it is declassified, it does not fall within the purview of the Official Secrets Act. What is the game all about? And the ultimate stupidity, hiding Azam Khan for the last month and a half or so, and then saying we got the statement from him. The statement has no legal value unless it is made in front of a magistrate. So who abducted him? Who brought him secretly before a secret magistrate and he secretly recorded the statement? How does that work? Under any known manipulation, strangulation, manifestation of this law, any law.
Absolutely. We have been seeing that law in itself is almost non-existent.
Absolutely.
In Pakistan at this point. I just cannot see what could possibly be gained, like except like in your own words, it's just another blooper in a series of bloopers that they've been doing. They're clutching at straws, this government or the regime in itself. Or it's like, okay, what next? What can we do to deviate the public focus away from election? The most important thing is to get free and fair elections done. The parliament should be heading towards its natural course of dissolution, because its term should be up by now in August, I believe. And we should be heading towards election, but there is one thing or the other, like clutching at straws almost, to just get Imran Khan out of the picture somehow. So yeah, what's going on with that? Why now? Why this weird statement when we all know that it has no legal standing?
Someone, it's rare that in the time that we're living in the era of abuse that we're all facing, and the kind of trauma our brothers and sisters, our colleagues in jail, Umar Chima, Dr. Yasmin Rashid, Sharyar Afridi, Ali Muhammad Khan, Alia Hamza, Tayyiba Raja, Falak Javed, all our brothers and sisters, Senator Ijaz Chaudhry, Umar Chima's innocent wife, the kind of trauma they're facing, it's hard for me to laugh or smile about anything. But the question you put to me It reminds me of a passage, and I don't know if I've said this before to you, so please forgive me. Chalk this up to old age. I repeat things very, very often now. Catch 22, a book written by Joseph Heller. In that, there's a Sunday sermon, and the head of the unit, the commander of the unit, requests the chaplain, the preacher, that for this particular Sunday, can we keep God out of the sermon? And the preacher replies to him that I think it will be a little bit hard to keep God out of the Bible. And so, I mean, I draw analogies from this that the kind of trauma these people have delivered to Pakistan, they want to keep Imran Khan out of politics. They want to keep him out of government. Well, then you've seen the results of that. April 22 to July 2023, Pakistan has been decimated. Our economy, they've tanked. They've made beggars out of us. Our people, they have shrunk the economy to the extent that no one can take a loan set. Forget about small, micro, and medium enterprises. Your large scale enterprises, these people that have very little respect for, they would go to General Bajwa and complain to Khan that don't let him agitate the Cipher issue, because if he does, we'll lose our largest export market, which is partly EU, partly US, and then partly the Arab states, Gulf states. Interestingly, our exports have tanked. We have lost 40% of production capacity in our traditional staple textiles in Faisalabad. We're unable to take orders, we're unable to fulfill orders, and the world is not giving us orders. So that happened in any case. They said that Khan, the evil one said that Khan is no enemy, is no friend to the Foreign Office. Khan has alienated Saudi, he has alienated UAE, he has alienated the US and EU in particular. If that be the case, why aren't investors from the US and EU beating down our doors as of last year, April 2022? What's stopping them from investing in a post Imran Khan Pakistan? Why didn't we see this rainfall of dollars? Forget the IMF, forget ADB, forget the World Bank. Why is it that these countries, if they couldn't give us the dollars, they couldn't give us the investments, why couldn't they do at least at the bare minimum transfer of technology? If the country was so stable post Imran Khan, why have we seen a 50% spike in terrorism incidents in Pakistan? 50%. 3.5 years of Khan Saab, we didn't have a single drone. Post Imran Khan, all we have are terrorism strikes. You saw the one that happened day before yesterday in my city again, Peshawar. An army convoy was attacked. Again, the poorest of the poor. You know that our jawans in the army, the youngest ones, they're not rich. They have nothing. And this was a convoy of sepoys going up to the border, most probably in the area that they were in Hayatabad. And they were attacked with impunity. Are poor Pakistani soldiers not Pakistani enough? Are Pakistani poor civilians not Pakistani enough? Do we all have to be like Miss Manolo Blahnik, Mariam Nawaz, and Mr. Gucci, Bilawal Zardari? Is that when we get respect for our blood? Is that when we get respected for being human? Just yesterday, they released one of our workers, Suhail Khan, from jail in Temergara in KPK. He was shot on the 9th of May, and the wound was so deep and so infected that they had to amputate his leg. Still, he remained in jail. They let him out yesterday. I hope you can show this to your viewers that this is the kind of Gestapo that we're dealing with. They removed Imran Khan through the fake vote of no confidence. They decided unilaterally that since the economy was running so well, let's destroy it because, why not? We can. Let's show the government, let's show the world that we, Mr. Bajwa, can do anything. And of course, in the process, the whitewashing of Zardari, the whitewashing of Sharifs and Fazl Rahman, the most corrupt families in Pakistan, that was more important than stability in Pakistan. You've got the IMF deal now, and the dollar has gone from 270 on the day of the IMF deal to yesterday 286 rupees to the dollar. Where is the stability in the stock market? Where is the stability in the dollar? And look at the inflation. You've gone to 62% inflation, a high never before seen for the last 50 years. They've destroyed the average Pakistani. He can't have a single meal a day. Where do you think these voters are coming from who want to vote for Imran Khan? The reason these people are petrified for the election, and I'll explain to you why it's a stupid reason. The reason they're petrified is because JUIF voters, People's Party voters, Noon voters have shifted to Khan, to the left. They realize that disagree as they may with his policies, with whatever they dislike about him. The man was a true soldier of Pakistan. He was a true son of the soil. He cared about the people. In this mega budget in COVID, he gave us these shelter homes. He gave us free eat freeze. He gave us the SARS program. They gave us loans for women, loans for youth, loans for agriculturists, loans for farmers. The man cared about Pakistan regardless of what you think about him. And the rest, they have shown their hand. Look at the floods in Pakistan. Today, nobody talks about the flood victims of Pakistan because they've eaten up all their resources. Whatever we got, Sherry Rahman was boasting, all these other losers were boasting about the money. Where's the money? Where's the relief in Pakistan? Where's the relief to the poor? You don't see it. And finally, I'll tell you one thing, Saman. If we don't go for fair and free elections, which will see Imran Khan as the prime minister, as the rightful prime minister again, I can assure you that the next 5 years are going to be like the last 12, 18 months. Nobody's going to invest in Pakistan with these thieves. The penthouse pirates, Mr. 10%, nobody wants to talk to these people. And the kind of abuse they have meted out to their own Pakistanis, which was never meted out for Kulbhushan or Abhinandan, the kind of abuse they've meted out to the people, it has forced the EU to actually mention the GSP Plus casually in a statement saying that while it does not impact the GSP Plus at the moment, but we are watching the use of military courts for civilian trials or anti-terrorism courts for civilian trials of a false flag operation. We are watching. That has scared the bejesus out of them. When was the last time you saw the IMF going to London to talk to Nawaz Sharif about the IMF program that Khan wanted to do? And yet, when these incompetent, corrupt mafia wanted to go on, get ahead with the IMF program, the IMF decided to visit Imran Khan. I'm surprised they didn't make the IMF to, a press conference denouncing all knowledge and all visit of the visit to Imran Khan, the way they do with everybody else from PTI, that we don't know him. Yesterday, 2 days ago in Peshawar, interestingly, and I'll end on this, the drama that is happening in this country, that two of our MPAs were picked up for being terrorists. They were taken to courts under the anti-terrorism law, to the anti-terrorism court, saying that they were participants of the 9th May false flag operation. And as soon as they joined Parvez Khatak's new party, whatever it's called, all anti-terrorism charges were dropped. Do you realize what a dangerous trend that is? In Punjab, it's already operating. Punjab police picks up random people, takes them to police stations, tells them they're going to file anti-terrorism cases on them, unless and until they give them anywhere between a lakh and 3 lakhs, which is almost $1,000 rupees, in the police station, then let them go. This is what they've done to the state of Pakistan. They've tried to destroy the remnants of it. But let me leave this discussion at a high point. Look at what your regular average Joe Pakistani is doing. Boys who've been arrested, boys who've been tortured in jails, they're back with Imran Khan. They have more of a spine than these ex-MNAs, ex-MPAs who are leading the party, who enjoyed ministries, who enjoyed perks and privilege. Just goes to show you that the elite of Pakistan, the created elite of Pakistan, is essentially scum. And these young men and women who don't have money or a car or any affluence or any influence or any foreign educations, these are the true sons and daughters of Pakistan who are suffering and sacrificing for one day. They believe in the Qaid's dream, Qaid Azam's dream, Allama Iqbal's dream, that we'll have a country where everyone is equal, Muslim, non-Muslim, Christian, Hindu, Pakistan, Balochi, Sindhi, Punjabi, Pathan. That is the Pakistan we're striving for. And that is why all of us continue to stand with Khan, because he stands for a united and prosperous life.
Inshallah, we will. I us to this really high, really positive note. So I'm afraid I'm gonna have to bring us back to another, not a very nice topic, but let's talk about the unprecedented brain drain that Pakistan has seen. And what some say that it's because of the hopelessness that seems to be coming from, what our youth is experiencing, our educated middle class, what they are experiencing right now. That's where it stems from. Yet we do hope that there will be elections soon. And once,
thank you, Sama. Thank you. Sorry for interrupting you. Look, as I mentioned earlier, the brain drain is a direct result of the vote of no confidence in Pakistan. I'll give an example. The IT sector in Pakistan was booming. We trebled our economy in IT related export, software development, and local IT initiatives. And yet, these people have tanked it last year, April, this year, July. It is your best and the brightest that are leaving for foreign shores. And that is a very, very clever game that usually foreign powers play with us. They come and take our best and they leave the Zardaris and the Sharifs and Fazals to us. The reason these people are leaving is not because of hopelessness. The reason they're leaving is one, as Bill Clinton said, if the economy is stupid, they're leaving because they don't see any indications that the economy will recover under these dodos. They're corrupt and they're uneducated. They're experienced, but they're experienced in theft and corruption. That's all they're experienced in. They're unstable and they are untrue to Pakistan. I don't like using the T word, but what they are turncoats. I'll use the other term, the T word. The other reason people are leaving is the lawlessness.
Yes.
If you are related to a member of PTI, my mother, who has nothing to do with PTI, was not even a PTI, just recently became a PTI voter, her house has been raided 3 times. They've been looking for me. Why not just tell me what they want from me? What good does it do raiding my mother's house? Now, my mother is not an IT professional. She will not leave out greener pastures. But there are people who will. All the people that Khan weaned into moving back into Pakistan, all our IT professionals, high tech, doctors, engineers, they are leaving Pakistan simply because they will not stand for midnight raids on their wives, sisters, businesses being shut down, people being abused for no reason by the police, by other people. This is why people are leaving. This is not how you treat your populace. And that is because, in effect, the constitution stands abrogated. It hardly matters that the fundamental rights chapter of the constitution is written in English and Urdu. Nobody is enforcing that chapter. I'm not saying it's a hopeless situation. I'm saying it's a lawless situation. The second you have a free and fair election, the second you bring back law and order, that is when people will start seeing that there is reason to stay. But nobody would subject their wives, their children, their fathers. Azam Ashwani, he's an assistant to Khan Saab. His brother has been gone 52 days. Rabia Sultan, the wife of Umar Chima, former governor of Punjab, she has done nothing wrong and she's in jail. These are the reasons why people are quitting Pakistan. And anybody who supports Zardari, anybody who supports Sharif, anybody who supports Fazlur Rahman, they are equally complicit and equally guilty. And they have the blood of innocent Pakistanis and destruction of Pakistan on its hands. We will recover from it, no doubt, but there is a precondition, and that is Imran Khan-led government, because that will be a free and fair elected government. Look at all the polls nowadays, local polls, international polls. More than 80% of people want to vote for Khan. And if you get a government full of these nincompoops, you know there is going to be another puppet government, and they will take Pakistan to where Zimbabwe is. They are going to destroy us.
Absolutely. Look, the next thing that I'm going to talk to you about, I wasn't planning on talking to you about this, but you mentioned Sherry Rahman, and I cannot stop myself from talking about her anti-Semitic, her anti-Israel comments that she recently made, to the press. Interestingly, in Urdu, this is a government that would never, that in fact, if anything, they under Nawaz Sharif's government and under Benazir government, there have been delegations that have gone into Israel that have made. However, they love calling Imran Khan an Israeli agent on the one hand, and then Taliban Khan on the other hand. So make your minds up. However, I would love to hear your comments about her very anti-Semitic, very anti-Israel statements that she made. Interestingly, in Urdu, something that I bet she would never repeat in English, never repeat in her during her many trips to the U.S. Would you like to comment on that, Shandana?
To be honest, Senator Sherry Rahman is somebody I used to look up to once upon a time, but I'm afraid she's just like the rest. They'll all sell their soul to the highest bidder. And I'll give you an example. This year on Women's March Day, you know that Islamabad police attacked the women marchers in Islamabad for they were chanting anti-General Bajwa slogans. And it's interesting that it was the same day that in Lahore, the police raided Zaman Park and abused the women and hit the women. They killed Zilisha, a special child, special person. Sherry Rahman in her statement said that it's one thing for the police to attack the women in Lahore. Now that is justified. But the women in Islamabad, they shouldn't have been touched. This is a minister for climate change in Pakistan who is saying that a certain kind of women that support Imran Khan, political workers of Imran Khan are fair game, they can abuse them. But women who are abusing General Bajwa, and this is on record, there are women who are abusing General Bajwa, they shouldn't have been arrested. Of course, she said Aurat March, she didn't say General Bajwa. That was the day that my heart kind of broke. I mean, I had no real hope from her, but I didn't realize she was capable of descending to those depths. I wonder what is the cause. She's an educated woman, or it seems like she's an educated woman. Recently, another one of her gafes came to light when all the money that apparently the Global West had pledged to Pakistan's funds, UK seems to be pulling out of it, and there's a statement that has been attributed to Rishi Sunak, and I don't know if it's confirmed or not, so it'll be important to get a confirmation independent of this, but apparently none of that money is coming forth. And finally, the statement that she made, this was in response to an Israeli delegation denouncing Pakistan, in particular Sindh, and the way they treat their people. It's the only province in Pakistan. Well, in Balochistan, they have private prisons, as you know, sanctioned by you know who. But in Sindh, these Vaderas, most of whom are in People's Party, you know, People's Party is no longer Pakistan Party, it's the Sindh Party, it's been reduced to interior Sindh. These Vaderas, they still have slaves and fiefdoms and people that are chained and work for them for free forever. So when Israel made that statement against Sindh, thanks to Zardari's brilliant handling of Sindh in the last 15 years, she hit out at Imran Khan. That makes no sense. You don't like Israel? By all means, you're a minister. You have the right to say whatever you like. Why drag in Imran Khan into it? It's not the first time on the floor of the House I've heard stupid people say things which are anti-Semitic. Now, it's one thing for Pakistan to have an anti-Israel policy, and that's because of Palestine and the abuse Palestinians suffer. It's another thing to be anti-Semitic, which is anti-Jews. In the Quran, Jews, Christians, Muslims, we're all people of the book. We don't have permission to tarnish either Christians or Jews. They're all people of the book. So that distinction must be drawn. There's a huge difference in being anti-Semitic and being anti-apartheid, anti-Zionist, which is Israel, the state of Israel today. Look at what they do in Jenin. And it's interesting that Sherry Rahman did not call out Israel when they were killing little children in Jenin. In the last year and a half, at least 45 plus children have been bombed by the Israeli authorities. Not a single word came out of this ridiculous government. But when Israel criticizes Sindh, Sherry Rahman criticizes Imran Khan. That makes no sense. And of course, they make fun of Imran Khan's sons as having Jewish grandparents. And why not? Were not the first converts to Islam in the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, time Jews? Was Hazrat Bibi Zainab not of the Jewish clan, of the most prominent Jewish clan? What are these people going on about? So I'm afraid these people are an embarrassment unto themselves. The fact that they sit in parliament and wax lyrical about Pakistan and rights. I pray Pakistan never has to go through such a trauma again. Literally, we're going through the Holocaust of Pakistan. What this Gestapo in power is doing to us, this is our Holocaust. Our one black day, the biggest black day we suffered in Pakistan after the destruction of East Pakistan, Bangladesh, was the Army Public School. And now perhaps it's this prolonged exposure, this abuse since the 25th of May last year till today. I pray Pakistan comes out of this trauma soon, because with these nincompoops, these abusive people at the helm, I don't see any hope for Pakistan. That is where I get hopeless. But am I allowed to be hopeless? That is the question. And since I'm a believer, my holy book tells me that loss of hope and lack of hope is simply not an option. We will succeed. We will struggle, no doubt. It will not be easy. But those of us who believe, and that's what these people don't understand. Unfortunately, they don't read many books beyond, their own self-effacing and self-value 2 pages that they print in the newspapers. If you ever read the Holy Book or any other book of common sense, we would know that these trials have happened to people before us and these trials will continue to happen. The question is, do we have the moral strength to stay the course? And the answer is a large yes, inshallah, absolutely. We will overcome these ugly odds, but these moments must not be forgotten. These people must not be forgiven for doing what they did to Pakistan's women, children, the poor, the flood victims, the abused people, those in jail suffering for no reason, those who've been murdered by this regime, Arshad Sharif, Zilay Shah, a special child who no one took pity on. So let these be lessons for us, that we will get our real freedom, inshallah, one day, Hakiki Azadi, but many of us have paid a very strong price for it. And therefore, that struggle must not be forgotten anytime soon.
And I would just add, because it just fits in so beautifully with at the end of like what you just said, Imran Khan's own words at the United Nations General Assembly when he was talking about Islamophobia, and his words were, "And I believe in La ilaha illallah, there is no God but one, and we will fight." Thank
Absolutely.
you, Shandana, for your time. It's always an immense pleasure talking to you. And I will see you again next week, inshallah.
Inshallah.